Order! Order! You are an incorrigible delinquent at times. Behave yourself, man!
Now, each year the House of Commons holds a debate to coincide with International Women's Day. It's all well and good, you might say. But should the same courtesy be extended to men? That was the question posed by the Conservative MP Philip Davies when he appeared in front of the Backbench Commons Business Committee earlier this week. His suggestion was met with disbelief by Labour MP Jess Phillips. Take a look at this.
The opportunity for men to raise issues that are important to them is very limited. And just to give you a flavour, Mr Chairman, of the type of things that may come up and which will be part of International Men's Day, I'm not entirely sure why it's so humorous, but to discuss issues such as men's shorter life expectancy, wider male health issues, many of which go unreported through embarrassment of men to sort of go along and talk about these things.
You have to excuse me for laughing, that the idea that men don't have the opportunity to ask questions in this place is a frankly laughable thing, as I say, as the only woman on this committee. The idea that this chamber, that these houses, both of them, in any way reflect gender equality is to me a frankly laughable thing.
And Philip Davies joins me now from Leeds. Welcome to the Sunday Politics. I mean, isn't Jess Phillips right there? I mean, the Parliament is still dominated by men. Business is still dominated by men. Most power centres are still dominated by men. You don't need a separate day or a separate debate.
Well, there's a difference between how many men there are in Parliament and the debate about men's issues. And I think there's some very serious issues, such as the high suicide rate amongst men, the underachievement of boys in school, as I mentioned there, the low life expectancy of men, the underreporting of health issues like testicular cancer, the underreporting of male victims of domestic violence.
You could bring that up at any time. There's enough men in the Commons, if these issues are important, and clearly they are, there's enough men in the Commons to bring that up whenever you want.
Well, actually there aren't. That's the whole point. There are very few opportunities to bring up these particular issues, and if you look through the record of Parliament, there is very few times when these issues have been debated. And these aren't just issues that affect men, by the way. Lots of women are concerned about these issues. Lots of women are married to men. They have fathers. They have sons. They're things that these things should be important to everybody. And I think that these are serious issues and they're not to be scoffed at.
Are you surprised at the appalling abuse that that clip provoked? I'm not saying you had anything to do with it, of course, but are you surprised at the appalling abuse that Jess Phillips then found herself on the end of?
Yeah, it was completely and utterly outrageous, and I very much hope that Jess is reporting some of these people to the police. We have a democracy, we have a debate. Jess is perfectly entitled to her opinion that we shouldn't debate these issues. I don't agree with her, but she's perfectly entitled to that point of view. That's what happens in a democracy.
Maybe you need a debate about men not behaving in that way over something that they don't agree with.
Well, I very much agree. We should have debates about what we should do with these morons that contact people in the way that they contacted Jess. It's completely unacceptable. I hope she goes to the police, but that shouldn't take away from the importance of the issues that I want to debate to coincide with International Men's Day, in the same way that we have a debate every year to coincide with International Women's Day.
One thing that you did debate, indeed you spoke for 90 minutes to talk it out this week, was a bill that would have allowed carers, just carers, to have free parking at hospitals, and you talked it out for 90 minutes so it wouldn't get any further. Why would you do that?
Well, I don't know if you've read my speech, Andrew, but I made it abundantly clear in my speech why I didn't support the bill, what my objections to the bill were. They're all there on the public record for people to read. I was concerned about that it would mean higher car parking costs for other people, like disabled people who go to visit a hospital and other vulnerable groups, that it would perhaps mean a reduction in revenue for hospitals, which would mean they wouldn't be able to employ as many doctors and nurses.
But why should carers have to pay for that? Why should carers
I'm not saying that they should.
To pay? Well, they do, and you stop them now from not.
Andrew, the whole point is this was a particular piece of legislation. There are many hospitals that don't charge carers for parking. All hospitals are free to not charge carers from parking if they so choose. And my view was that these things are best decided at a local level.
But I've got a picture of you during the campaign, it was in June actually, it was after the campaign, holding up a banner saying, speaking up for carers. I don't think this is what the carers thought you should be speaking up about.
Well, you obviously haven't read my speech, Andrew, which is the
Well, it is
mistake
90
that
minutes
many.
long. I've read bits of it. 90 minutes is a long time.
Read it all, Andrew, because you'll see if you do that. I spoke up very warmly about carers, and I also proposed. Well, don't say okay. I also proposed in my speech legislation that I would support that would benefit carers, which would have been far better to bring forward than that ill-thought-through particular piece of legislation. So if you're suggesting that I didn't speak up for carers in that debate, then I'm afraid that's a complete and utter lie.
Let me move on to Mr. Cameron and the European Union. He's now warning about life outside the EU, or life with a more, what you might call an associate type relationship with the EU. I mean, don't you conclude that is he really preempting the renegotiations? He's really made his mind up that he has to do whatever it takes to stay in. Is that a fair conclusion?
Yes, absolutely. Look, the Prime Minister's going to get next to nothing from his renegotiation, but he's going to come back and dress it up as a great triumph and say that based on this triumph he can now recommend that we stay in the EU. We all know that. I don't blame him for that. That's what all Prime Ministers do. I've never yet come across any Prime Minister in history that's ever come back from a renegotiation and said, by the way, I've got absolutely nothing out of it, but I did my best. They all claim it's a triumph, and we all know it's not going to go anywhere. But, of course, the Prime Minister's going to campaign for us to stay in. My job is to persuade people that any claim of renegotiation has been a complete farce.
OK. Philip Davies, thanks for joining us from Leeds.